So here's a fascinating story that may or may not surprise some of you. Then Speaker of the House Paul Ryan told Republicans in 2016 that they could abandon Trump after the release of the infamous Access Hollywood tape, according to an excerpt of a new book cited Sunday by Axios. On October 10th, 2016, 3 days after the tape was released, Ryan told all House Republicans on a rare conference call that they no longer needed to remain loyal to the party's candidate. Politicos Jake Sherman and Anna Palmer claim in A Hill to Die On. Ryan's message on the call was blunt. The pair reportedly write, Republicans should feel free to abandon Trump. I am not going to defend Donald Trump, the GOP leader reportedly added. Not now, not in the future. On election night, as it became clear Trump could win, Ryan told the president, "This is unbelievable. It looks like you're going to win." I love this story. And I love this story because, it really... These guys have made a habit of proving everything I've ever said about the Republican Party correct. Okay? Now, listen, your average Joe Republican, separate conversation, and we could have a very long and detailed conversation about that. But I think many of them have been misled, and I think that there's hope for at least 50% of the people who vote Republican. That's a bold statement, and no doubt many of my allies on the left would disagree with me. But I'm optimistic that many people can be switched to the right positions because they're already there and they're just being duped by a shitty party that's basically, in many ways, running on white identity politics. But again, put aside the conversation about the average Joe Republican. The claims that I've made against the elites in the Republican Party and the establishment of the Republican Party, nobody's been more correct. I know I sound like Trump now. Nobody's been more right. It's unbelievable. I have the best words. I say the best words. But no, what have I told you from the beginning? Donald Trump is the quintessential, ideal, perfect Republican politician for the establishment, but they don't like his mean tweets. They don't like his mean tweets. They don't like his rugged fighter aura about him. They don't like how impolite he is. That's what they don't like. They hate that stuff. They hate it with a burning passion. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it so much. So what was the thing that finally made a lot of Republicans go, okay, can't do it. I'm not going to vocally support this guy. And again, when I say Republicans, I mean in the establishment. It was when the Access Hollywood tape was released. That was an old school style political scandal where it's salacious, it has to do with sex, it has to do with personal lives, and it was Donald Trump on a bus saying, I grab him by the pussy, I don't even wait. Now, as I've said from the beginning, the scandal there was not the I grab them by the pussy part. It's the I don't even wait part, which implies there's no consent. I just do it. And then after the fact, they're like, whoa, like what happened here? So that was my thing where I was like, that's why that was concerning to me, is that he said, I don't even wait, which implies like, yeah, I just do it. And that's super questionable in terms of whether or not there's consent there. But the part that the media focused on relentlessly was the grab him by the pussy part, and they didn't really talk about the I don't even wait part, which kind of gave, I feel like, a misimpression of where the real scandal was. Because if there's consensual stuff going on, that's fine. Now, he's still a scumbag because he's cheating on his wife, and that's another thing that, those guys say they hate. I don't know if they really hate it, but they say they hate that. But the reason why this was them saying, oh my God, we're done with him, is because that was one of those things where in puritanical, polite society, that's, you've crossed the line, good sir, and you've besmirched our great name as a party. And so that was the thing that made him go, okay, no more. Notice what wasn't a thing that made him go, enough. Trump said in one of the debates that wages are, quote, too high. And Bernie Sanders later on would use that to clobber him over the head repeatedly. Trump also said, we need a total and complete shutdown of Muslims. Is that what made Paul Ryan say, okay, you guys don't have to support him? Nope. Shutting out over 1 billion people from coming into the country. And again, literally, he said, I'm for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims coming into the country. That didn't stop Paul Ryan. So none of that stuff bothered him at all. In fact, he supports that stuff. Totally fine with that stuff. And it was just the salacious scandal where he said too much. But then Paul Ryan ended up going back on what he said here 100%. Oh, I'm not going to defend him, and I'm never going to defend him. That's what he said. Well, this picture over my left-hand shoulder here, you know what's going on there? Here's what's going on there. That's when the Republicans signed their massive tax bill that's nothing but a giant giveaway to the rich. And in that tax bill was the end of the individual mandate in the Affordable Care Act, in Obamacare, which is traditionally viewed as the glue that holds the thing together. So it was kind of like shivving the side of Obamacare. And it was viewed as like a death knell to Obamacare, along with Donald Trump's other executive orders that take down Obamacare. And as a direct result of what you're seeing here over my left-hand shoulder, 7 million people lost their health insurance under Trump's time in office. 83% of the benefits of this tax bill that had the individual mandate repeal, 83% of the benefits in there go to the top 1%. It slashed the estate tax massively. In that bill, it incentivizes outsourcing, as many tax experts have warned us in committee hearings. So this bill is nothing but a giant giveaway to Goldman Sachs and Wall Street and the top 0.01%. That's what this bill is. That's what it is. And Paul Ryan is over there celebrating it. You want to know why? Because he believes in it. You want to know what else Paul Ryan believes in? Everything Donald Trump is doing. Policy-wise, he agrees with all of it. He agrees with trying to overthrow the Venezuelan government. He agrees with the bombing 8 different countries. He agrees with the massive tax cuts for the rich. He agrees with the Wall Street deregulation. He agrees with the gutting of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which returned $12 billion to defrauded Americans. $12 billion. What does Paul Ryan say? Fuck them. Fuck the regular consumers. I'm on the side of the executives and the management and the owner class. So the dude who said, I will never support him. Turns out you supported him, didn't you, bitch? And you know who's the most honest about all this? Jeb Bush. Because we covered the story very recently on this show. He did an interview with CNN, and Jeb Bush basically said, hey, listen, I support everything he's doing policy-wise. I just don't like how his lack of leadership, he calls it. In reality, what that means is I don't like how he does the mean tweets, and he's a controversial firebrand figure, and he's impolite, and he's not civil. What Jeb Bush wants is somebody willing to bomb people overseas with a smile on his face and cut taxes for the rich with a smile on his face and with a nice temperament. That's what these guys want. They're all frauds. They're all frauds. And they're all for odious policies that destroy the country. And that's what I need everybody to take away from this. There is no, like, oh, Paul Ryan is one of the good ones. No, the entire Republican establishment is the problem. The entire thing. No matter how much they try to civility police and tone police, politeness police, that all comes to naught at the end of the day. What matters are the lives impacted by their policies, and they've been impacted in a negative way. And they don't give a fuck. In fact, they support that stuff. So Paul Ryan is a charlatan of the highest order, and I hope nobody gives him credit simply for saying, oh, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. Oh, really? That is? That he got caught saying stuff on tape? Some salacious bullshit? That's the thing? So all the policies, totally fine, but oh my God, this tape. Really is incredible.